What happens when your fabric comes out all stretched on stretchy fabrics or on slippery fabrics? They don't line up at the very end. What's happening is that your foot and your feed dogs are stretching the fabric as it's going through. Now on a sewing machine, usually then switch over to a walking foot and all is good. On a serger, you start using your differential feed. Now, this is something that it takes a little bit to kind of grasp the concept, but I'm going to walk you through it. Now, I really don't use this a lot. I do find myself using it maybe 5–10% of the time, but it all depends on what fabrics I'm working with. If you work with a lot of stretchy, loosely woven fabrics, yes, differential feed's probably going to be your friend. We're going to just take a look really quick. Underneath the foot, there are 2 sets of feed dogs here. And as you adjust your differential feed, the front feed dog is the one you're adjusting. And so at normal, they pull in at the same rate, kind of a 1-to-1 ratio. But as we adjust the differential feed over here, second knob down, to, for example, a higher number, it goes from normal 1.5 and then all the way up to 2. Now the front feed dog pulls twice as much fabric or distance as the back one. And what that will do is help ease this fabric in so it's not being pulled or stretched. Because that foot is so long, there's a lot of pressure on that fabric before it even becomes a stitch. And that's where the fabric gets stretched. So if I go ahead and turn it to 2 and then go ahead and sew this same thing. And yes, I did need to sew on the bias to really get us to be able to. So as I start to stitch, I'm noticing I'm getting a little bit of puckers over here. I've actually gone too far. 2 is too much of a setting. So what I'm going to do is turn the differential feed to 1.5 just to see the difference. Oh yeah, much better. That's coming out nice and flat without even having to do anything else. And see, instead of the wave, our fabric is perfect. Now, what if you have fabrics that is a little bit more slippery, 2 pieces of satin or even 2 pieces of rayon? They're sliding all around and you get all the way to the end and that bottom layer has creeped a little bit faster than your top layer. So what's happening is that at normal feed dog length, or feed dog distance, so if we go back to normal there, we will find that actually it's pulling too much. So what we can do is slow it down by going all the way down to the 0.7 or somewhere in between. And what it'll do is kind of help resist the fabric from sliding in as fast. So great for those slippery fabrics is a differential feed at a reduced amount. So how do you remember which way to go since you don't use it very often? Well, one will make it better and one will make it worse. So just try it out. That's what the extra fabric's for when you buy for testing your serger, and you can figure out which one is going to be best for the fabric. But traditionally, if it's wavy, it's going to be to the higher number, and if it is being gathered or it's feeding too fast underneath and kind of they're not coming out at the end, then that's going to be the reverse and a less than 1 setting. Just remember, put it back to normal when you're done.